very excited to present on a topic that touches nearly every family and every student across the globe, which is how mobile internet affects student well-being and learning. This is joint work with Sam Stemper. First, let me begin with a couple of facts. Over the last 2 decades, adolescents' access to mobile internet and internet in general has exploded. Today, in fact, 1 in 3 users of the internet globally is a child. And this might not come as a surprise to those of you who have teenagers, is that majority of the teenagers report being online almost constantly. Now, naturally, with this constant digital connectivity, parents, educators, and governments around the world are concerned about what this means on student well-being and learning. So against this backdrop, our project is going to ask, is mobile internet really helping or is it hurting students? Now, let me show you just a snippet of the flurry of headlines we've seen over the last year itself. So BBC last year read, "Fight begins to make mobile-free schools law." At the same time, the New York Times read, "California schools must restrict phones under the new law." Meanwhile, Australia has already gone ahead and banned social media usage for under 16s, and UNESCO is calling for a global ban on smartphones. Now, what these sets of headlines show just how seriously the world is debating about potential implications of this online connectivity on students, which are the next generation. But what we still lack is rigorous and systematic causal evidence on the issue, and not just wondering about how internet shapes student outcomes within school, but importantly also how they use outside of school has changed and how they're spending their time on the web. This is what we ask in this project. What we're going to do is leverage the global rollout of 3G internet, which is a wireless connectivity that truly made internet portable and with fast enough transmission speeds to make rich engagement in real time possible. And what we're going to do is take the global rollout and map it with student outcomes. Now, let me first give you a sense of the scale and timing of 3G connectivity. So here I'm plotting a global map of what countries' 3G connectivity looked like back in 2006. In yellow means those areas where you have very little coverage, close to 0. And in dark green, coverage means almost 100%. Now, what you see is data on 82 countries, which we're going to leverage in the study, shows that back in 2006, 3G connectivity was very limited to a few countries, mostly Eastern Europe and parts of North America. Well, fast forward to 2018, the map looks very different. Now we see 3G has expanded to a lot of other lower and middle income countries as well. For example, parts of Latin America, also Western Europe, and developing countries like Vietnam and Thailand. Now we're going to have access to 82 countries, nationally representative data on students from these 82 countries, and these include both a mix of developed economies, the OECD countries, and also a mix of developing countries. We're going to take test scores data from over 2.5 million students and match it across these countries and look at what's happening to students' behaviors, both study and online, and also what's happening on their academic performance, well-being, and connectivity. So, in a nutshell, what we find, first, let's look at student behavior. What has internet done in terms of how students are using their time? Well, first, we see a huge increase in students' access and ownership of smartphones. Towards the end of the period, so by 2018, we see smartphone ownership nearly being universal in the home. And in terms of the time, so the intensive margin in how students are spending their time, we see they are spending almost the equivalent of a full-time job, that many hours on the net every week, which is about 29 hours. And most of this increase actually is happening outside of school rather than in school. Now, you might wonder what's happened to their academic performance. Well, on the one hand, internet could increase learning and boost resources outside the classroom, but on the other hand, it could increase distractions. So what's the net impact that we're seeing? Well, so let me show you. Unfortunately, the story is quite grim in that test scores across the board, so math, reading, and science, declined across all subjects. So in the graph, I'm plotting the vertical axis of standardized test scores among a subset of OECD countries, and I'm showing you the year on the x-axis. And what you're seeing is up until 2009, scores were kind of steadily increasing, but in the positive direction. But after 2009, which is when 3G connectivity really shot up, we see a steady decline across the board in all subjects. Now, these effect sizes are huge. They amount to about a quarter of a school year's learning. And unfortunately, what's even more concerning is that these effects are larger for girls and for students in developing lower middle income countries. Now, you might wonder, okay, academics is worsening, but perhaps teenagers are gaining on social dimension. Maybe they're connecting with friends more. Well, so we do see a sharp increase in social media usage of about 17%, but what we see is students reporting a sharp decline in a sense of belonging and reporting, in fact, if anything, they're finding it harder to make friends and feel like an outsider in school. So what we're seeing across the board is that mobile internet has pervasively entered into student lives and is affecting their lives in historically unprecedented ways, but unfortunately, learning outcomes and mental well-being is suffering. So what does this mean for us? Well, the results indicate that the onus of changing and bringing about change here lies not just on schools, but also importantly on families. Now, we are in an era where it's become very important for families to create structure at home in terms of healthy screen habits and structured screen time. At the same time, school can do more with teaching digital literacy to students to help them self-regulate in the midst of these online distractions, and also encouraging avenues to encourage offline social engagement to rebuild a sense of belonging. In a nutshell, what we know is that mobile internet is not going away anytime soon, and in fact, it can be a powerful tool, but we really need to use it wisely. So I will conclude there, and thank you for your attention.